Hey you guys, this is Swagmuch99 and today I will be showing you how to make a Minecraft server. So, you only need three things to make your server. The first thing you need to do is take your mouse, go to your desktop, right click, go to new, and create a folder. You can name this folder anything you want, but for now we're going to name it Minecraft Server. Now, this is the first thing you need. We're going to need two more things to start up your server. The second thing you need is to open up a internet browser, Google Chrome, Firefox, Internet Explorer, etc. The first website you want to go to is Minecraft.net. All these website links will be in the description. Go to download it here, and go down here until you see this code. It's like in italics. I think that's what it's called. If not bold, I don't know. So anyway, just highlight it, copy it, and minimize your internet browser, and now we have to turn this into a batch file. So go to your desktop again, right click, go to new, and go to text document. Now you don't have to name this one because you're not going to need it for long. So go to your text, open up your text document, and paste it in there. Now we have to make a few changes. You want to delete this and change it to craftbukkit.jar. Oops, my bad. Not craftbukkit, craftbukkit.jar. And then after that, you can change this. This is the amount of RAM your server runs. The more players you want, the more RAM you could add. For every 10 players, I would probably add another gig of RAM to each side. But you got to make sure your computer has enough RAM. To check that, go to your start menu. Yours is probably going to be on the bottom. I changed this to do this now. I think you could do it on Windows XP too. Go to your search bar and just type in RAM. And then it'll show the computer's RAM automatically. And right here, it'll show your amount of your computer's RAM. Mine right now is only 4 gigs, so I could have about, if I ran my server off here, about 20 people on. That's what the average computer is about 4 gigs of RAM. I'm getting a new computer soon though. So after you do that, go to save as, and this is very important. Name it run.bat. Do not forget the .bat. And then also change this text document.txt to all files. This tells your server that it's a batch file, not a text document. Save it to your desktop, and it should pop up right here. Now you can exit out of your text document without saving and delete it. You can now drag your run.bat file next to your Minecraft server folder. Now we only need one more thing to start your server. Open up your web browser again and go to dl.bukkit.org/download/craftbukkit. This will also be in the description. Now, the one you usually want is the recommended build. Now, it looks like that now 1.6.2 has a recommended build. If your version does not have the recommended build, then get the builds below it. The higher the build, the better. So if a new version came out, then it's probably going to be the development build. If your version is not here yet, then you must be patient and wait till it does. Just click on it, download it, and keep it. This takes a minute to several minutes to download, so please be patient. Once your build is finished downloading, find your downloads folder, find the build you've downloaded, and drag it to your desktop, and put it right next to all the files we've created. Now this is your server. Now we have to do a few last steps to start your server. First of all, go to this CraftBukkit and rename it. Rename it just CraftBukkit. Delete all the stuff at the end. If you do not name it just CraftBukkit, then this will not work. If you have an older computer, you might have to put .jar at the end. But since I have Windows 7 and the Windows 8 users do not have to do this. Now take both files and drag them into your Minecraft server folder. Open up your folder, and now you can see all your files are here. The reason we put them into a folder is because after we start the server, many more files will be created. You'll have several folders appear randomly into your folder. If you did this on your desktop, it would be a lot harder to manage. Now you have your server. Run your batch file. The first time your server runs, it should look like this. It will take several minutes for all the components to be created. And as you can see, as it's loading, all your files are being created. Sorry about that, you guys. It's just a little bit of lag. As you can see, all the files are being randomly created. I'll pause the video while this loads. Now that the server is created, you are ready to play on it. Open up your Minecraft launcher. Once your Minecraft is open, go to multiplayer, go to add server, and type in localhost. As you can see, a server appears. It's called a Minecraft server because that's your default MOTD. Now, to change your MOTD and other server properties, go to your server folder and open up server, or it'll say server properties. Here, you can see there's many things to change. Your server IP is what you use when you port forward your server. Port forwarding the server is much more complicated than creating a server. I will create a separate video on how to port forward your server, but it won't come out for a few more days. So that's your server IP, your server port. That's also deal with port forwarding. This enable query, when you port forward your server, you want to change this to true, so that way when you post it onto server lists, the websites can tell if your server's online or offline. Another thing you do not want to change is hardcore. Do not change this. If you change it to true, once your players die on your server, they are banned. So do not change that. And you can mess around with this as much as you want. There's lots of different things. Online mode, if you change this to false, that means cracked players can come onto your server. Max amount of players. You can add as many players as you want, but I would recommend having only 10 players per 1 gig of RAM you add to your server. So if you have 4 gigs of RAM, and also only use half the RAM your computer has. If you use the max amount of RAM, your computer will lag and might not even be able to start Minecraft launcher. And if you do start it while your server is running at the same time, with all your RAM being used, your computer may crash. So only use half your computer's RAM to run on your server. Another thing is this. This is your MOTD. You can change this to anything you want. I'll be creating another video on how to create a colored MOTD and a moving one. So that'll be in a separate tutorial. So let's name it my new server, just to show you that this is your server. Do file, save, and reload your server. Just type reload all, and it says reload complete. Now go back to your Minecraft launcher and refresh your page. And as you can see, it says my new server instead of a Minecraft server. And that's your server. Thank you guys for watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Thank you.